when he comes down the beach and he's just got that sort of cool, calm look on his face, it intimidates people.
You never see Shannon in a situation where he starts to panic.
He won't make a mistake. On the day he can switch it on no matter what.
I think this year he's really going to have to fight for it.
I'm not afraid to go out there and try and beat the guy.
I'm willing to hurt myself, possibly more than anyone else, to do it.
Hello and welcome to the beautiful but powerful Smiths Beach in Western Australia for round 2 of the Nutri-Grain Ironman series. The athletes have had their first look at a brand new course. There are no excuses now heading into a day that will have big say in shaping the season. Welcome back to Smiths Beach and legendary Ironman Rhys Jury's here with me. Mate, what's it going to take for these guys to try and stop Shannon?
Well, they're going to have to really step up today. If there's one thing that Shannon Eckstein likes to do, he likes to be out in front. He's there already. If he gets out in front, he likes to tighten the screws and put the pressure back on the athletes. So it's up to some of these guys to take the race to Shannon, to really step up and have a real crack at him.
Mate, what do you think they learnt after round 1?
I think the cream rose to the top in round 1. Those good, experienced guys really stepped up. So these younger guys, they're really going to have to step up and really try and take it to them.
Rhys, let's check out the standings straight after round 1 right now. Obviously, the guys up the top, Shannon, Kai, they're names that we all know, but down the bottom of the list, who we got?
Yeah, look, there's guys like Hayden White, who was extremely unlucky in that first round. He was leading the ski leg and got cleaned up by a big set and lost his ski. He ended up at the back of the field, but I think guys like Hayden, they'll try and step up today, they'll try and redeem themselves, and they'll try and put himself back in the picture. So there'll be a few guys with a bit of a point to prove today.
Kai Hurst, welcome back to Smiths Beach. Mate, how you feeling after round 1 last week?
Yeah, absolutely awesome. You know, obviously to get round 1 out of the way and sort of get a good performance up on the board is fantastic. The conditions are completely different today, so I don't think it's as unpredictable as the first round, but you know, in saying that, we got 3 races today and I'm certainly looking forward to them.
Well, let's talk about round 1 first. Going into the last swim leg, you were leading. I know a lot of people on the beach thought you were going to go on with it. You're in a good position. Surf played its way. How are you feeling after it?
Look, you know, I've been in this business for a long time and, you know, surf is surf and this is why we do this sport. You know, I've had many races before in the past where I've come from behind as well and I've had a bit of luck. Unfortunately, the luck wasn't on my side that day and, you know, a couple of guys did come through. But, you know, to see Shannon doing really well, he looked fantastic in round 1. Kendrick, Louis, you know, they're in fine form and it's really going to be a tough season this year. I think, you know, with having 5 more races left, you know, it's certainly going to be exciting.
Kai, the conditions compared to round 1 last week was obviously out of control last week. It's calmed down a little. How's that going to work for you? In your favour or not?
Yeah, look, I don't mind. I think I'm pretty fit. I think I've done the work to get here and to be a part of this. You know, today's definitely going to be a testing time. Obviously, today's conditions are a little bit inconsistent, but I have seen a couple of sets come through that do look like, you know, they're a little difficult to get through and come in with. So I really don't know. You know, I've just got to, as soon as I put my foot on that line, I'm here to race. I'm ready to race. And, you know, I just got to be smart. You know, 3 races, 3 15-minute races. I just got to make sure that I take each one as it comes and try not to fall too far behind and just try and place myself up the front that whole time.
Yeah, so just on that, tactically, are you going to go out hard? Are you going to hold back? Are you just going to put yourself in the right position and save it for the last one? Have you thought about that heavily?
Yeah, I think about this a lot and, you know, ideally the perfect scenario for me is to try and sit closer to the front and just sort of play with the field and get through round 1, get through round 2 and then give everything that I've got left in the tank for round 3. If it goes that way, fantastic. If it doesn't, you know, I might be fighting all day and if that's the case, you know, I'm ready to fight.
Kai Hurst, congratulations, mate, on
Thanks, Colin.
round 1 and good luck today.
Cheers, boys.
Right now, we're going to check out the Ironwoman standings. No surprise with the top 3 out in front.
No, definitely not. Very similar to the men. 3 experienced girls out in front and showing what they could do in round 1.
How about the performance by Courtney? Unbelievable.
Like I said, she's a full professional and her swim legs in that first round were absolutely amazing. And again, she's so good from out in front. She'll be really looking to tighten the screws this round.
Well, that's enough from us, mate. Let's throw down to the beautiful Roz. She's on the beach.
Well, after the chaos of round one, many competitors are happy to see this. Conditions here at Smith's Beach are much calmer today. To put it into perspective, in the opening round, you could hardly even see the marker boys during competition, but they are visible from the beach today and the wind is nowhere near as strong. Now, Crystal Smith, she absolutely thrived in the wild conditions in the opening round. Crystal, how does this stuff suit you today?
Yeah, I mean, the conditions in round one obviously were very tough, but you know, it's good to have the ski leg back today, so I'm really looking forward to getting out there and giving it a good shot. After having a year off, I'm stoked with how I'm currently positioned.
Elimination round, what sort of tactics do you employ for this?
You know, I've always tried to conserve as much energy as possible in the first opening rounds and just use everything I've got in that the final round if I'm there, and hopefully, you know, I'll be the first one across the line.
Feeling confident?
Really confident, yeah, can't wait.
Good idea, go and get him. Thanks, Roz.
Thanks very much, Roz. Stick around for the Ironwoman series coming up. But the question is, in the men's, will it be the young guns who come through?
The new generation is definitely coming through. It's definitely our time to shine. Like, you know, we've really got to step it up and give it our all.
You got Tannen, you know, he came away with us to WA for the Deep Water Series, and yeah, he always puts up a good fight.
Yeah, there's a massive chance that we'll see a new generation come through. I think we've been waiting for it the last couple of years, and at a few years' experience now, there's no excuse when you're 24, 25 years old to say you're young.
I think it's going to be a really tough year this year. We've had Crystal Smith and Elizabeth Plumas. They've had a season off and they are experienced and also really fierce competitors.
They're girls that everyone in the series looks up to at some point and says, I'd love to be able to compete at their level.
You definitely can't go past Crystal Smith. She looks so fit, and after having a year off, she's definitely hungry to get the title under her belt.
Welcome back. A couple of big names in the mix here at the Nutri-Grain Ironwoman series. Reese, how are they going to back up after round one?
Yeah, look, the girls have had some time to recover. I think the girls will be very happy that the surf has backed out a little bit, and I think they'll be really happy that the ski leg's back in it as well. So, look, it's going to be an interesting day. I don't think anyone's panicking yet, but it's going to be a really intense race today and an important one.
Mate, let's check out Brodie Moyer in the pro zone.
Hey guys, we're down here for round two of the Ironwoman and Ironman series at Smith's Beach. The swell's looking a lot more calmer today, probably around about 3 foot, which is good. Definitely enough of a wave to separate the field, and I guess my hot tip is to have a really good warm-up because it consists of 3 rounds, which are about 12 minutes long, and it would probably suck to be knocked out in the first one. So have a really good warm-up, hard start, and hopefully you can come home with a win.
Thanks, Brodie. Reese, who's your tip for this one?
Well, it's a tough one today. Obviously, Courtney was very, very dominant in the first round. But again, I tipped Elizabeth Plumas in the first round. I'm going to pick her again today. I think she showed some good form in round one, and coming off her strong off-season, I think she'll be the one again to beat today.
Reese, it's going to be an exciting race. You better hurry over to the commentary box where you're going to join Trevor Hendy, Tim Gilbert. Take it away, guys.
Well, very different conditions to the first day, and very different race conditions as well. The bottom 5 in these 3 races, the first 2 races are out, and then it's the big race for the final one. Trev, the third one.
Great conditions to race, probably a little bit more predictable because you can see what's coming your way, less chop. Here we have a look at the course, starting here on Smith's Beach, out to sea on the ski, furthest out because it's the fastest craft. Back into the beach, run leg, board, halfway out, and then back in for the swim. That's our Ironwoman race. That'll change each of the 3 times the order.
Yep, and here they are. We're ready to go. 2014 Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman Series. Here are the Ironwomen. Courtney Hancock, of course, won the first. She was last year's champion. She's got the #1 on her, and she is going to be the competitor to beat.
Short course racing too now. In our first round, we saw that longer race, that endurance-based race. This is where you really expect to see Liz Plumas flying again, up there with Courtney Hancock. Expect to see Crystal Smith have a good race. And remember, in round 1, we had no ski leg. Now we've got the ski leg, so the stronger girls, the faster, more powerful ones, probably will feature. I've been proved wrong before.
We saw again, Trevor, at the start of that race then, Hannah Minogue ducked behind the back of the swimmers and took a different tack. Be interesting to see how Hannah plays out at the end of this swim, but it looks like Courtney Hancock out in front again with that terrific swim of hers.
How's that for a testimony to the change of conditions too from round one? Because the swimmers were going to the left side of the field to try and get out in round one. So they've obviously checked this out and thought there's a bit of water moving out to the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's more benign than it was for the first round, but there's still a decent chop out there, isn't there?
Oh, make no mistake, there's enough wave there to really make a difference in this thing. I think you'll notice the sets coming in about 7 or 8 minute intervals. I did have a little bit of a time of it. And so if you can time it to come in on a nice medium-sized wave and out on nothing, you're doing well. But what you don't want to do is a too big a wave on the way in or anything above medium on the way out.
There she is, Courtney Hancock leading the way.
Look at that 6-speed kick of hers. She is swimming so... And here she is. Look at that. That is beautiful body surfing right there. That 6-speed kick, turning the arm over, head down, straight as a board. She'll be kicking really, really, really hard here.
Slight weight on the fingertips there, so she's planing across her hands. And look at this wave from behind. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh,
a couple of collisions there.
All aboard.
Somebody's gone down. Great body surfing. Here we go. That looks like Emma Dick waiting. And...
oh, Geordie Mercer straight over the top.
Oh, and Emma's still on there a little bit on the right there. She's done quite well, actually. Good effort. But back to the star at the moment, Courtney Hancock. Fantastic job of body surfing. The waves obviously died out on the edge there. She had great technique, so it must have run out. But she runs. Remember, this is a short course race. We don't want to be in that red zone and get eliminated. She's only got 2 more legs to get through, and this could be a comfortable race for her if she can set it up well right now.
Courtney in the number 1. Some interesting pedigree here, because if you go back a generation, of course, Jordan Mercer is the daughter of Darren Mercer, and then a couple of rugby league connections, because Devon Halligan is Daryl Halligan, the mighty goal kicker for New Zealand's daughter, and Tara Coleman is Tugger's daughter, Craig Coleman. So, yep, the athleticism running in the family.
Nice to see a crossover of sports, isn't it? The Jack family's now playing in the AFL and all this sort of stuff's going on. So great to see this athletic prowess come through in whatever sport they choose.
We see Becca Creedy up there. She is a renowned swimmer. She's had a great swim leg, and she's up there pushing Courtney Hancock along. So that's a great result. I think she's out in front now. Rebecca Creedy paddling extremely well on the board.
Yeah, Rebecca Creedy, of course, has competed for Australia at a Commonwealth Games, so you may remember her. All right, we are underway. This is the women's. How's it all going to pan out? Courtney Hancock, what a superstar. Welcome back to Channel 9's Wide World of Sports, and Courtney Hancock, it's a name that we've come to know and love in this sport. This is the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series, and we're watching the Iron Women. 3 races here, the bottom 5 in the first 2 drop out, and that it is a race amongst just a few to see who wins.
This is a great little setup here for Rebecca Creedy. And back to Brodie Moyer here, sitting on the pink board, bright pink board. We see that quite regularly. Not sure where she is in the field, but she's obviously not at the leaders will know that pretty soon. But Courtney Hancock up on her knees now. These girls will be stoked to be out in front. There's so much energy saved when you're up the front of the pack. You're not panicking, you're not stressed. Everything's easier up the front.
We can see a few of the tar markers, but here comes the wave now. I think we're going to get the 3 of them on. Maddie Dunn is coming down on that wave with Courtney and Rebecca Creedy. So these girls will be stoked with this wave. It'll give them a little bit of a buffer zone, a little bit of a chance to take a breath, get that heart rate down, and get ready for the final leg of this first race.
Kendrick, what do you make of conditions for round 2?
Yeah, it looks fun. You know, there's still a little wave. It's probably about 2 to 3 foot. The wind's just started to pick up now, and the girls are out there hitting it out. So I think, you know, by the time we race, in probably about an hour or so, I think the wind will pick up. Hopefully push a little bit more swell in.
You were a standout in the wild stuff in round 1. How different will your tactics be for round 2 in this?
I think round 1 was just, you know, the surf was up, so you just sort of go out there, you just concentrate on yourself and try not make any mistakes. You know, this round, the surf's a little bit smaller. I think the racing will be a lot more tighter, and I think it's one of those things you got to focus on yourself. you get carried away with the other boys, your mind starts to drift and then you start to make mistakes. So,
Okay, Kendrick, thank you. Best of luck.
thanks.
Good on you, Roz. And something that caught our eye as we were watching the current places, and there she is there, superstar of the sport, one of the big stars, Brodie Moyer, who's had a wobbly old start to the 2014 series, could be on the edge of the red zone here.
She's the current world champion, which is over this distance. So we're not talking about somebody who's not used to this format. As we see another wave come through, oh.
I think that was Amy Nerth, and she's gone upside down. Emma Dick has bumped off. Let's have a look. Tara Coleman's punched through. Yeah, Amy Nerthen's gone upside down. Emma Dick's just slid in too.
Well, here we go, on the right-hand side, there's Emma Dick rolling off. That's going to really set you back. That in a short course Ironwoman race, very, very hard to recover from here. Remembering we're looking at the tail of the field, that's the red zone.
Yeah, those waves in that first round were extraordinary. Quite a lot easier today, but easy is not quite the word you want to use, is it?
Here's Tara Coleman. We just saw that shot. She's punching through here. Oh, that's from the ski cam and rolls off. You don't want to see upside down from your ski cam, not at all.
It's Courtney Hancock out in front, looking nice and relaxed. Elizabeth Plumer's also looking nice and relaxed as well. They'll know they're safe here. They just got to turn around the can, get in nice and safe, and they should be able to do that.
A little bit of rain now to make things a little bit more difficult. And look, for them out in front, they're just going to cruise, and they'll cruise through to the next race. But there is a very interesting story. That Brodie Moyer story is an interesting one because she could be out of the day's racing within the next few minutes.
And she didn't have a very good result at all in round one. All of a sudden, you're looking at not even re-qualifying for the series if you start getting back around 12th, things like that. She will want to get moving right now.
Just saw Jordan Mercer. I think she's up in a nice, comfortable place. But you can see Tara Coleman right back on the left there. And then the leaders there to your right-hand screen. The huge gap just with that one set that came through. It's made a huge difference to this race.
Reece, you would remember that feeling. How happy would you be in that front pack with a massive lead like that?
Oh, it's a huge relief. Huge relief that you're going to get through that first race and then you can get down to business. But here go the leaders. Elizabeth Plumers, nice and comfortable. Well, here we go again. It's the same sort of girls out in front again. It's they're setting the pace and the tone for the day.
Yeah, they'll get through. There's Elizabeth Plumers and, of course, Courtney Hancock. Again, extraordinary as we see a wild ski go around. But Brodie Moyer, the world champion, the current world champion, could she be eliminated in this, the first of 3 races? It would be a real turn-up because she is one of the stars as we see the leading athletes just cruise across the line.
In this wild beach, because we were talking about how beautiful the conditions were before. Now the wind's onshore, the rain's coming through, and it's totally changed on us. This is what makes it so amazing to race here. Courtney coming through, very comfortable. There's Harriet Brown. So she's sitting in that red zone as well. She's going to be sprinting to the beach unless she can get a wave away on the ski. Jordan Mercer will be comfortable with that. Brodie Moyer, our world champion, getting caught from behind Bonnie Hancock on a wave. This is going to come down to something special. I'm thinking 4 places here left.
There's Crystal Smith, and you had a real look of concern on Brodie Moyer's face, and this is going to be a sprint for the finish. There's 3 of them. Only 2 of these are going to get through. Of course, you can see Brodie there with the black cap. She looks like she's going to make it. Bit of argy-bargy. The arm goes out, the shoulder comes back, and she's just made it through. A boarding house scrape of butter, and Brodie Moyer is through to the next race, but you never would have thought it'd get that close. Trevor Hendy asks the official.
Yeah, did I get through? That you don't know at that particular point in time, so what a relief for her. She's into the next round. She can turn it all around in the next round if she's on a game.
Here we go through those that have got through and those eliminated. Harriet Brown gone, Bonnie Hancock no longer there, Emma Dick, Tara Coleman and Devon Halligan.
Well, congratulations, Maddie. You qualified through to the next race. You look very comfortable out there.
Yeah, it was a bit hard to get through it. Like, it was cold at the start because of the cold weather.
What's your plan of attack for race 2?
Just get out there, hopefully stay without in like the top 5, back 5, and make it through to the final. So hopefully that happens.
Well done, Maddie Dunn, safely through. There are athletes eliminated as we watch a few of those other craft out on the water here at Smiths Beach. Beautiful part of the world, the Margaret River. Race 2, Trev.
Here we go. The orders change slightly. The course is the same. Board, ski, swim. Once again, we're eliminating the last 5 of 11 in this field. It's getting pretty cutthroat. Liz Plume is off to a great start. She looked comfortable in the first round. They'll all be wanting to get in the front pack. No massive waves coming through today. Your best chances at the front of the field.
You could see the cold was playing a bit of a part too, Trevor. You could see how cold Maddie Dunn was, so it was be really important to try and stay warm, try and get into this race and find your groove nice and early.
There you're talking about staying warm, and she had to roll back into the water she goes. Reece, Maddie Dunn, pretty impressive, hey? You'd see a bit of her on the Sunshine Coast?
Yeah, well, she was up on the Sun Coast last year. She's moved down to the Gold Coast this year just for a change of scenery, I should say, and she's emerging. She's doing really, really well.
On the board here, it must be a real judgment call as you come up close to that wave as to whether to try to get over or whether to jump off and push through.
Yeah, and it's got to be a split-second decision too, Tim. You've got to make that decision. Okay, I'm going to roll. Okay, I'm going to pop. So it's a really has to be a quick decision, and sometimes it can be the wrong one and make a big difference.
Have a look at this. Alyssa Ball leading. She'd be loving this. She's actually getting another one of those stars on the rise, and right next to her was Amy Nervin. And then the one we're talking about, Brodie Moyer, the world champion and also world board paddling champion, I think. And up there right in front, those three. So they'd be happy with that start.
It looked like Jordan Mercer and Beck Creedy at the back of the pack. That was, from the first round. You wouldn't have expected that, but they're still fairly tightly bunched, and they'll be trying to pick up these little runners and get to that wave zone as quick as they can.
You're never too far away from a stray slipper in the head, are you? You must have caught a few.
That's what I was going to say. How often do you go to work and get kicked in the face? It's all part of a day's work for these Iron Women, and they take it in their stride too. But yeah, you do cop a few, and certainly when you're swimming, you cop a few sort of closed fist to the back of the head occasionally, but that's all part of it. Here we go, look at this. This is bringing the whole field back together. Those first three won't be happy with this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's turned out okay. 4 or 5 on that first wave.
Crystal Smith, again, up there at the front, taking control of this second race. Alyssa Bull hanging in there, Elizabeth Plumers, and that's better. Brodie Moyer up the front and Amy Nerfin. Brodie will be a lot happier with that.
There's not much you can do when you're just bobbing up and down like a duck, is there? Like you're waiting for that wave.
Absolutely, but how good a job with that. Those front few girls, because they're in front, they picked up the first wave. You've got to give yourself the best chance, but you can't make a difference. Courtney Hancock, look at that race. There she is, back there. She'll want to get a move on.
Look at the intensity of the running in these short course races. They're really sprinting around. They know how crucial it is to try and be up that front so they miss that bottom 5 cut.
Liz Plumers looking incredibly strong and balanced and calm there. Who are we looking back here? So Courtney's now in the red zone. She is in the back 5. So that's quite challenging. A fantastic ski paddler, though. Of course, we know she's a great Ironwoman, but she's got better and better on the ski the last couple of years. I would think she's going to make a move now.
You'd be a very brave person to bet against Courtney from getting out of the red zone. Dramatic pictures here. The Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series. We're in the middle of the Iron Women race. We'll be back in a moment.
You've got the little kids at the surf club come up to you and say, oh, can I have your autograph? And then it sort of does seem a bit real to say, yeah, I am an Iron Woman, but to me, in my head at this stage, it's not quite real.
Channel 9's Wide World of Sports, the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series. We're in the middle of the Iron Women, and Alyssa Bull, Trevor, when we're doing our research on the phone, you didn't mention much about her.
Yes, she's a bit of a power package. She's coming through. Look at this. There's some air. That's incredible. Look at that shot too. And that's really good ski control. That's very difficult to land on one of those and keep going. Well done, Alyssa Bull. She's got a big career ahead of her.
Well, Mother Nature is determined not to make it easy for the athletes here at Smiths Beach. What began as a beautiful day has turned pretty ugly. It's freezing in and out of the water. The wind has picked up and so has the swell, with some pretty solid waves now coming through and making it difficult for the women, as well as the rain making visibility quite tough. And I'm told this is incredibly hard for the Queenslanders in particular because they are used to warmer climates. The next leg is the swim, and then we will lose 5 more in the elimination round.
Thank you, Roz. Yeah, that's the way it works today. 3 races, and we're going to end up in that 3rd race with just a handful of competitors. And we saw Brodie Moyer go so close to being eliminated in that first round. I don't think she's going that well as we see her come in around this buoy now. So a bit of work to do for Brodie.
Something's happened there because she came out in that lead pack in the board, and now here she is back there. Something's gone on that we haven't quite seen, so Brodie, probably benefit of the doubt for her, something's gone on there. But there we see the lead pack, Alyssa Bull, Elise Bennett, another star of the series that just keeps hanging around in there, never quite cracked it for a win, but an exceptional competitor, sitting in second, be happy with that. Whoa, sideways, she wants to hold on here. And there's a handler ready to take over. Goggles in the hand, she'd be feeling pretty good about this.
One of the biggest moments of her career, you'd have to say, right at the moment, wouldn't you, Reece?
Yeah, look, she placed last year in a round up on the Sunshine Coast, so she's getting some good experience. Here we see Jordan Mercer flying around with Courtney Hancock's back in the game. She was back going into that ski leg, but she's back into it. Elise Bennett, Brodie Moyer throwing the goggles away, getting a little bit frustrated there.
It looks like a bit of a dirty day for Brodie, doesn't it? She's dropping back, throwing the goggles, all that sort of stuff as they dive back in the water. So we'll have a look at this red zone as they go out. We'll start to see it a little bit more clearly. Not the massive swim waves that we've seen previously at Smiths Beach. So they're going to have to do a little bit of work to make sure they get through in this swim leg.
What a great lead she's got there too. That's a big lead, so she'd be feeling very comfortable at the moment. But here comes Courtney Hancock in that swim leg again. Gee, she swims well.
So it's a real individual thing to see whether you wear the goggles or not in the swim. We're watching some wear them, some not.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sort of half and half. A lot of the guys don't wear them. A lot of the guys do wear them. So, yeah, definitely much a personal choice.
And Kai Hurst, interestingly enough, never wears them. Greatest surf swimmer of all time, never wears them. But even if it's a long distance swim in an Ironman race, won't put them on. I think his idea is that you want to be able to see the waves and what they're doing.
Well, here we go. This is the end of the second race. There's a wave there, some falling off the back. A couple are going to catch it.
Whoa.
Got Courtney Hancock.
Courtney Hancock and Liz Plumers again.
That is sensational. So she's made that move in the ski, come right through in the swim, picked up the wave. Here's the two of them. Let's see a bit of a form guide. Who's going to hold this the furthest?
Great body surfing again. The skills are unbelievable. That's awesome.
Still going.
Well, here they come up the beach, Liz Plumers and Courtney Hancock. They won't, they'll still run it out pretty hard, but they won't break land speed records because they know they've got another race to go. The real interest beyond what's happening up at the front is going to be in that red zone and who will drop off as we see more competitors come across. Where is Brodie Moyer?
That was another good swim from Maddie Dunn. She was back a little bit going into that swim leg, so she'll be happy with that. Crystal Smith, nice and comfortable. She's through to the next round as well.
Just saw a shot of Brodie Moyer. She's not going to make it, Trevor.
This is a big turn up for me. So Jordan Mercer's coming through now. We see Rebecca Creedy.
I think she may just miss out.
Rebecca Creedy's going to be out, and Brodie Moyer is out.
Gone.
There's the world champion over this distance gone. That's her series in tatters.
Dramatic scenes here at Smiths Beach, and there they are, the results in round two. Courtney Hancock winning, Liz Plumers, Elisa Bull, Maddie Dunn, Crystal Smith and Jordan Mercer, and they will compete for the win. All those others are gone.
That'll be their places for this round, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11.
Creedy, Moyer, Minogue, Bennett and Nerthen. There's Courtney Hancock, one of the superstars of this event, looking $1 million both in and out of the water.
I've always had a passion for beauty. I was a beauty therapist actually for a year. And then as I became more into my Ironwoman, I was able to make Ironwoman racing my job. I can't say I look glamorous when I race. I always have my nails either bright pink, black, or gold, just depending what mood I'm in, and also have my eyelashes always done. Still at the age of 25, I'm wearing ribbons in my hair, but all the little girls seem to love that. I love being here on the Gold Coast and being part of the social scene. I think I'm very lucky in my life to be able to fit in my training, fit in the social scene. I think it's quite hard to do, but if you balance it properly, I have a fantastic life. I like fishing because I'm an outdoors girl, I guess. I'd love to have more time to do it, but I only do it every now and then. I think it helps when my boyfriend loves it as well. That feeling of when you get a fish, it's amazing.
Yep, I think we all enjoy getting a snapper or a brim or a mullet on the line as we look at the athletes preparing, those commiserating.
Brodie Moyer, a little hug there, won't be feeling so good, and she really does take this very seriously. So dark day for Broads.
All right, we are down to just a few. There's 6 competitors to see who will win round 2 of the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironwoman Series.
Away we go. So race 3, ski, swim, board, slightly different order again. Final, of course, no one eliminated. Where they finish is their place for the round. Big chance for some big bickies here in their prize money, but also big points towards the series. Oh, straight away off the start. Liz Plumers are not looking so happy about it either. Of course, you wouldn't be, but Courtney Hancock's away.
Here we go. Look at this. Getting tangled up. Oh, is that... Not even sure who came across there, but it was one big tangle, that's for sure.
It's hard to even explain what happened just then.
And Courtney was talking about her love of glamour, and when we look at her ski again, there it is. She's got that lovely gold at the front. It's got that little bit of glamorous edge to it.
And look, right now we could be seeing something. For Courtney Hancock to get a start and Liz Plume is probably the hottest chaser in the field to be back there that little bit of distance, this could make the difference at the end of the race. We might be seeing the gap right now, but right on her tail is Crystal Smith, and we know she wants to come back and do very, very well. She'll be looking for a win pretty soon in the series.
Well, it's so crucial this first leg too, to get out to that strong start, get that momentum, and just try and go on with it. All the girls would be hurting now. This third race, you're really feeling it. So this is a great start for Courtney. She'll be stoked. Here comes Crystal Smith on a wave.
Crystal Smith on a wave, yeah, catches that beautifully. Smith's Beach in the Margaret River, and the determined look of Crystal Smith.
It's good surfing there.
One of her big rivals, Courtney Hancock, over the other side of the wave.
That's the big question. Can Crystal Smith win it on Smith's Beach? She missed a chance in round 1. Here we go. So the final 4.
You've been working on that.
So yeah, sorry, I apologise. 2 sideways. Jordan Mercer.
Maddie Dunn's fallen off.
2 of our young guns and brightest of the young guns. That's not good for them in a 3-leg race.
Well, here they are, Crystal Smith and Courtney Hancock, and we'll see how this all wraps up in just a tick. Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman Series. Wow, good to have your company. Absolutely amazing athleticism shown here at Smith's Beach in Western Australia. Courtney Hancock there, and we are riding him home here. Crystal Smith and Courtney Hancock, 2 great rivals. Crystal had taken some time off.
Come home from a good little trip sojourn overseas. As we look at them running back out to the water here, swim leg, no craft to carry. They get to choose. They can run a little bit further if they want because there's nothing to carry. But they chose to go about 10 metres to the right. I'm imagining, if you look at it, there's a little bit of blue water moving out there, probably a little undertow, and they're trying to tap right into that.
One thing I noticed as we see Maddie Dunn run around, Courtney Hancock on that run around, she had her teeth gritted and she had this look in her eye. She's really going to put the pressure on in this swim leg. She is very determined today.
And one thing that we saw Courtney Hancock do beautifully before was when she's on a wave, she rides it to its proper conclusion, doesn't she? She just takes it right to the edge.
Yeah, it's just that determination, that will to win. She does everything she can to get that little edge, and taking that extra stroke or holding your breath for that little bit longer, Courtney does it. And as we're seeing here, she's just swimming so good this year. She's actually starting to swim away from Crystal here.
What an incredible job. That's actually Liz that's moved right up into 2nd place. She's done an amazing transition wade out through the break, but even though she's moved that fast, Courtney's actually taken the lead. Is this a wave?
Here we go.
Here it comes, Courtney Hancock. We just mentioned it.
That is unbelievable.
Has she got a board there? That's extraordinary. Courtney Hancock, and she keeps going.
Head down, there's the streamline we've talked about so often. Head down, shoulders tucked in tight so no water's hitting those shoulders. And look at that hands just skimming across. That's perfect body surfing for the kids at home. Look at that. That is a piece of mastercraft. Courtney Hancock.
That's extraordinary. Courtney Hancock. Wow.
Look at it here. There's that big 6-beat kick coming in. Elizabeth Plumer's just dropped off it, but look at that. She's body surfed so well this season.
And right there you see she gets over, but she holds herself at the top for a moment. So she gets the run down just in front of the whitewater. She's sitting in it, and she times putting the head down 3, 2, 1, and she'll put the head down, get a breath right in front there. And she pretty much kept it down. She gets the odd breath and gets it back down.
Yeah, just for the average body surfer on a weekend, everyone knows how much fun that is as well. So after all the hard work, she gets a nice little ride all the way to the beach and has put quite a gap between herself and Liz Plumer. Pretty cranky there as she throws her hat down. She's not happy she missed that wave. Let's get down to Roz. Roz has got something for us.
Courtney Hancock and Crystal Smith are really raising the bar in this one, aren't they?
Absolutely. Look, I've just relocated clubs this year to Northcliffe, and I get to train with these girls every day, and I believe it's definitely going to help improve my racing, and yeah, it's great to see my teammates going so well.
I think Courtney, she's leading the board with Crystal behind her. Who are you backing to win?
Look, I think Courtney's pretty good when she's out in front, and it's definitely a positive racing from the front. It's easy once you're out there, and you get to enjoy it a little bit more, and then the pain just seems to disappear.
There's still plenty of rounds to go. Best of luck for the Rebecca.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Roz. Thanks, Rebecca. And there are the current placings. Hancock, Smith, Plumer's Dunn, Bull, and in 6th position right at the moment, young Jordan Mercer. And there's Crystal Smith. We're on board with Crystal. Extraordinary part of the world, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. We've got the township of Bustleton not far away, Margaret River, where you can get on the water, you can play beautiful golf, you can have a sip of a nice glass of wine, if that should be your fancy, Trevor.
And don't mind the old glass of red wine. Margaret River, renowned for its whites, but here we go. Courtney Hancock has stroked onto a nice little swell, perfect size. This has been a bit of a masterclass, this race. Incredible race. Courtney Hancock, this is so big for her. This is 2 rounds in a row. If she can get to the beach now, she's out to a 2-round lead. Incredible result. What a great shot.
She's very, very happy with that. Again, she's just stamped a class on this. She's got time to give her dad a hug. Awesome effort, Courtney. Fantastic.
Courtney Hancock giving Dad a hug, throwing the arms in the air. We saw the glamorous side to her before. This is the competitor, and the show person gives the boyfriend a little peck, and away she goes. Courtney Hancock, she is the princess of Western Australia. She's won at Smiths Beach in the last round. She's won today and done it in emphatic fashion. There she goes.
Interesting race here for second. Here we go.
Yeah, here we have. We've got Liz Plumers, her good friend Crystal Smith, and
Maddie Dunn.
Here it is. Look at the determination on young Maddie Dunn against these 2 senior competitors, and she'll do it. It's Dunn, Smith, Plumers, 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
What a fantastic result for Maddie Dunn. We've been watching her for a while. She is really almost the 4th big name in the sport, isn't she, Reece? She's getting better and better.
Yeah, that's an outstanding result for young Maddie. She'll be stoked, the young girl. She did a great swim leg, put herself back in the picture, and out-sprint those 2 experienced girls. That's awesome.
There it is, round 2. Courtney Hancock, Maddie Dunn, Crystal Smith, Liz Plumers, Elisa Bull, and Jordan Mercer.
Looking down the field there, as we said before, Brodie Moy won't be happy with that. Rebecca Creedy not too bad. Elise Bennett, Amy Nerthen, Harriet Brown in that finish in first round, eliminated early.
Yeah, and of course Bonnie Hancock, Emma Dick, Tara Coleman and Devon Halligan round up our competitors. Round 2 of the Kellogg Nutri-Grain Ironwoman series.
Courtney, an absolutely dominant performance to back up round 1.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Absolutely perfect start. I definitely didn't expect this today. I just really wanted to, get through the first 2 rounds, get to the bottom 6, and then go from there. And had a bit of a shocking start just then, and able to come back. And really happy I could come across that finish line.
Courtney, congratulations, and I'll see you in Newcastle.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Roz. Courtney Hancock, how does she do it?
Well, that's a good question, Corbin, but this year, I definitely think it's a swim leg. Her swimming has just been superb these first 2 rounds. She seems to have taken it to another level. She's really jumped up and she's taken it to the girls in that swim leg. And her surf skills too, that body surfing in that final race, and Mate, that was magnificent. It was awesome to watch.
Obviously, she's the number one. Can anyone in the field catch her this year? What are they going to have to do?
Yeah, look, it's early days. It's only 2 rounds down. She has been dominant in it, but those girls are still there. They're still in contention. Liz Plumers, Crystal Smith, and now Maddie Dunn. There's still a chance, but they're going to have to really work hard for the next round to try and catch Courtney. She's definitely been outstanding.
Aren't they what? She's unstoppable. The Ironman series is coming up next, and a big congratulations to Courtney Hancock.
Yeah, the start of the race went pretty quick. Sort of got out the cans about 5th and 6th and then just sort of stayed around that position for the next sort of 20 minutes or so, and then I started to sort of peg a few places back. I saw this wave coming and thought just try and get down, and then I got down and I ran over Kendrick. I didn't really see him and held it nearly to the beach, and that's what got the win. It's a really big bonus to win the first round. Sort of in the box seat leading into round 2. If I can have another good result there, it'll put the other boys under pressure. I think after round 1, Kai raced really well, Kendrick raced well, but I think my brother Kane was a little bit unlucky in the ski league there, so those 3 guys are going to be fighting out for the series, I think.
Welcome back to Smiths Beach in Western Australia. Round 2 of the Nutri-Grain Ironman series is moments away. And Reese, it's Shannon Eckstein. He's out in front. He's going to be hard to beat, the 7-time champ.
Yeah, definitely Corbin. The thing with Shannon too, and the scary thing for the other competitors, he's really good at this format. This eliminator format, Shannon Eckstein has won this event many times. So he likes to get in front, he likes to dictate a race, so someone's going to have to try and take it to Shannon Eckstein if they want to beat him today.
Kai Hurst was obviously up there as well. Who else have we got in that pack that's maybe going to knock him off?
Well, you've got to look at Kendrick Louis. He got 2nd in the series last year. He performed really well in round 1, and he's a guy that likes to attack. He likes to say, hey, I'm here to race. I'm going to come out and take it to you guys. So I think we've got to look at Kendrick Louis today as well.
Mate, it's going to be an interesting race. Can't wait to get into it. Let's go to the Pro Zone with Wes Berg.
Round 2 at Smiths Beach, the Eliminator. The Eliminator is a very, very tricky race where a lot of athletes will go out hard and fast at the start, or they'll conserve and hold back. I think the trick to the Eliminator is to make sure you get yourself nestled into the mid-pack to make sure you don't exert too much energy in the early rounds. But you have to make sure that you are somewhere near the front and you're not in the red zone at the back where you can be Eliminator. Today's conditions have dropped from the round 1. We're about 2 to 3 foot. There's still a little bit of cross-shore wind. The water is a little bit chilly for those Northern Queensland athletes, but I think you're in for an action-packed morning.
Thanks, Wes. That's the current pro's verdict. What about the former pro, Reese?
Look, it's a tough one. Matty Poole, he's won this format before. He's a good chance. Kendrick Louis, he's really hungry. He'll be a real threat. Kai Hurst, he's a freak. He could do anything, but I can't go past Shannon Eckstein. The guy is in form and he loves this format. I'm going to have to stick with Shannon today.
Reese, off you go to the commentary box. He's going to join Trevor Hendy and Tim Gilbert.
Yeah, there he is, Shannon Eckstein, the elite performer. He has won 7 series. He's extraordinary. His brother's not bad either. You've got Poole, you've got a lot of other competitors here that can knock him off, Trevor.
Absolutely. There's a lot of talk at the moment as we look at the course. Start, eliminator race, ski. There we see it out around the 3 cans. Furthest out because it's the fastest craft. Board, not quite as far, only the 2 cans, and swim leg. The order will change each time, run leg in between, and a run to the finish line. So, absolutely. A lot of talk on the beach about Kendrick Louis and Kai Hurst and how good they look.
And this is race 1. Remember, it's all about who finishes at the bottom, not necessarily who finishes at the top. You just got to safely get across the line, and we are underway on Smiths Beach in round 2 for the men in the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series.
Looking across the field here, they've spread out quite a bit. Now, the aim right now is to get on the bottom and get a little bit of water that's travelling out. So that's what they're trying to do, get down there. You'll see them stay down for a little while. They don't come up exactly straight away. Kai Hurst over on the right-hand side there always stays down a little bit longer, and that's what usually gets him out a little bit further in front of everybody else. Look for Shannon Eckstein and Kendrick Louis at the start of this. They're our 3 best swimmers. They're also our 3 best Ironmen at the moment.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they attack this format today. And it'll be interesting to see how they take this first leg out, whether they put themselves out in front. But it looks like they are. Kendrick Louis, Kai Hurst, out in front. They're taking to the other guys early.
I've noticed in the last couple of years, and Tim, you've kind of alluded to this in the, sort of the cruise missile of Shannon Eckstein. In the last couple of years, he's got even more and more comfortable sitting on people's hips, sitting on people's feet, just sitting there watching, not being like the young buck running across the paddock, so to speak. He really does sit back and actually bide his time, and that's a really important thing. If you're as skillful as Shannon, you don't have to panic. Have a look at that. What a wonderful thing there. There's Matt Poole back in 11th spot, and as we see, 4-3. So there's a little bit of a chat on the wave there too. Shannon Eckstein talking to Kendrick as they come in. I think Kane Eckstein, Kai Hurst we've got there as well, but Matt Poole back at 11th. You don't want to let the first three get away like that.
Yeah, remember, if he stays where he is, he'll be no longer competing. Today, the red zone is not where you want to be. And he did mention that in the interview, didn't he, Shannon Eckstein, about where he was to see Kai Hurst make his way up the beach first. Shannon Eckstein mentioned, yeah, I was in about 6th, 7th, and then I just gradually lifted.
He's so intelligent, Reece. You've raced him many times too. Just the way he does it and sits back. Kane Eckstein coming through, and he won't let himself get in a bad position here.
That's right, and you can see the intensity pick up with these guys at the back a little bit further. That run leg's a little bit harder. You can see Matty Bevilacqua. And here's Pooley, Wesy Berg. They're back a little bit. They won't want to be there.
And young gun Tannen Linden, I just saw 2nd or 3rd last there, so he won't be liking that. I think he wants to make his mark in the series this year. Got to get a move on. But Kai Hurst, almost the man of the moment in round 1. Now in round 2, looking fantastic as well.
And here's Pooley. He's trying to make up some ground. He's got a fair bit of work to do. He's trying to pick up that rate. And here we are on board with Thomas Trembath, about to punch through this wave. Awesome.
Oh, no.
What happened then?
He just lost his board.
He has lost his board.
We'll see it. He's missed the strap.
Oh.
He's missed the strap. Tommy Trembath, he's not going to like that. International man of leisure, he refers to himself. That's a bit too much leisuresome, I think.
Yeah, he's making us all feel human as we see the start of the race. This is the men's race. We're at Smiths Beach, round 2, the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series. The Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series from Smiths Beach. This is round 2 in the beautiful Margaret River, and there's a face you'll probably know, Kai Hurst, a remarkable performer both in the Ironman and at the Olympic Games, and a bloke he competed with quite a bit through his time is with Ros Kelly on the beach.
Well, Zane, round 1 here at Smiths Beach, you had to alter the course because of conditions. Can you talk us through today's?
Yeah, so this is the Eliminator format, a really exciting short course race. We're aiming for around 12-minute races. It's a really tactical format, this one. You know, you've got to make sure that you get qualified through each race, but you've got to leave enough in the tank for the next race and, more importantly, the final race. And so that's what these experienced guys will be doing. They'll really be, you know, making sure that they're in control of their position and that they'll be qualifying, but leaving enough in the tank for that final race where it really matters.
Great, thanks for your insight, Zane.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ros. Thanks, Zane. And it is an exciting format.
It is, and the big 3 that we talk about has been joined by the big 4th, Kane Eckstein. But the story of the moment is the big 5 or 5th. Matt Poole is back in the red zone, just about to face elimination if he doesn't get a move on.
Well, that's it. If you're just joining us now, those last few competitors will not compete for the rest of the day. It's a process of elimination. There's Matt Poole there. You can see him signified in the number 4 and that tattoo on the bicep of his left arm. He has a bit of work to do.
And I talked a little bit earlier, Reece, about Tannen Linden as well, who was back 2nd last, and he's now moved into about 8th or 9th spot. So he's made the move that Pooley needs to make.
Yeah, and Pooley looked a little bit distressed. You could see on his face he wasn't doing it real easy. So this will be a huge, huge part for him, this ski leg. And you can see him here. He's trying to pick that rate up, trying to make up some ground on these leaders and put himself back in that safe zone.
And what a difference, Tim, if we flash back to the wave we saw the boys on the board before, as we said, the guys punched right into one. Nathan Smith there onboard camera. Great shots as he punches through, head down, tucks the paddle in behind him so he doesn't get knocked backwards, pulls it off. But these three lead guys, Kai Hurst was having a chat to Kendrick Louis on the wave, giving the thumbs up to the camera. Their mate Matt Poole's back here not thinking about any of that.
Yeah, he's just thinking about not getting eliminated. Extraordinary story, isn't it, Nathan Smith, to come back after so long away?
Yeah, and it's great to see Nathan back. He's obviously a very busy man these days. He's got three young children, and to fit all that training in and to compete at this level, he's got his work cut out. But he's doing well here today. He'll be happy to be back in the sport.
As we see, as the Eckstein brothers come down onto this leading wave, they're comfortable. Kai Hurst is comfortable. Back behind them, Josh Minogue didn't look too bad. These two boys, this is a statement they're making. Of course, that's fantastic for them, but back where the action is, Matt Poole sitting there in 12th. He's currently not making it. He's going to have to win a sprint up the beach to get through.
Yeah, that's where the business section is, isn't it, of this race? Because the guys at the front, well, those well at the front know they're going to cruise into the next round. Look at Wes as he gives us the two fingers. He's a character, isn't he, Wes Berg? But those at the back, that's where you're going to see these fierce faces, this real competitiveness, because if they don't get to a certain point, they are Gonski.
Well, that's 4 on that wave, Tim. So 3 of those are going to get through, 1 is not. So they've got to get in the top 3 in that sprint to the beach, and I'm sure we'll see it here in a moment. Here they come, they stand up.
Yeah, 4 left, 3 spots, and it looks like Nathan Smith can't stay with them. These 3 are going to get through. It's Poole, it is Allen, and it is also Linden. They are all through safely. Tell you what, by the hair of their chinny chin chin.
Wow, what a race. At the back, these eliminators get very exciting, but up the front, Kane Eckstein, Kendrick Louis, Shannon Eckstein, Hursty, Minogue and Berg did a very good job there, Reece.
Yeah, definitely. Hayden White, Matty Bev, Tannen Linden, Pooley, they'll be stoked to get through. And good result from Hayden Allen.
Unlucky there for Nathan Smith, Cameron Cole, Mitchell Miller, Dane Farrell, Thomas Trembath. They have the afternoon off.
Well, Matt, geez, that was tense there. You just snuck through.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, I tried to get off to a good start in the swim. Missed that first wave, and then I was kind of chasing from there. I was just trying to keep myself out of the red zone, but yeah, I didn't really want that sprint finish. Hopefully I can do something a bit better this second round.
You're coming off a broken leg. Rate your fitness.
It hasn't been an ideal preparation, but I'm still here, still having a crack and still alive, so hopefully we can turn it around.
I'll let you go. Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, first is as good as where Matt Poole is. Not so good for these guys. Young Miller is gone, and Nathan Smith, I tell you what, he must be disappointed, absolutely exhausted as well. He came 4th in that sprint, and that means it's gone. Race 2 now, just about to get underway. The boys are ready and off.
And this is a hot race, Tim. You've got to understand, this is like 11 of the best Ironmen in the world trying to come down to 6. We all think about the third race, how it's dramatic. This is a lot of effort put into this race to make sure you get through to that final round.
And sometimes it can be the hardest race too, Trevor. I know that first one you can sometimes get through on adrenaline.
Whoa!
It's still coming through. There's still some waves that can make a big difference. But like we're talking about, this second race is going to be extremely important. And Pooley looks like he's off to a good start. He popped that wave really nice.
For the uninitiated, what sort of diet process are we going through? I don't need a full day's culinary intake, but what's going on here? Because there's so much so quick.
Well, it really is a great point, Tim. There's a lot of energy being burnt off, and it's getting more and more scientific all the time. Of course, what they do is protein for rebuilding, good carbs for energy, and it's a lot of these guys. It's different for everyone. They have their own particular things that they like, but it's like 6 meals a day these times. They've got to keep up the energy to do this, and it's all about recovering at the right time. So individual, that they make different decisions, of course, but that's the basis of it.
Yeah, and their body's burning right at the moment as we see them right in the middle of race 2. And there's a guy that's been doing it for a long time. That is Wes Berg.
Such a good board paddler too, Wesley. He's got those long arms, that long body, long reach. He's been a great board paddler for a long time. And there's little Kane Eckstein, ripping in and ripping in. That's how he likes it.
Kane Eckstein popped his head up as like a 17-year-old and won the World Open board race title. I think it was in Italy at the time or something like that. And everyone went, wow, how good is Kane going to be? And he's been there ever since. Not so happy about that situation, but he is an incredible athlete. There you go. That's the passion that Kane Eckstein races with.
I love that. I love how he's an angry little man. He really gets into his racing. But here's Shannon out in front, looking comfortable. Wesley Berg was on that front wave as well, and they're having a little chat, just organising things. Very focused there, Wesy.
So once again, there's the nice four. They'll be comfortable with that. Matt Poole, here we go again. He's back not in that front four. He's back a little bit. We're talking a bit about him, but that's because he's so good. And he was right next to Kai Hurst there. So two of our big guns. Look over Matt Bevilacqua. Bit of a star here on the rise. Matty Bev from Tasmania. Got a crowd on the beach cheering him on. We love Bev. And incredible young man. He's doing really well too.
Used to some cold water, you'd say.
Definitely, and that's a great race for him so far. It'd be interesting to see how he goes on with it.
There's Shannon Eckstein, and his brother Kane, we mentioned him before, an extraordinary performer. A year off, of course, and he's come back and he's right at the top edge again.
I had a little dream to do the Hawaii Ironman, and I did about 3 months or so training for that, which is pretty short preparation for something like that. Just opened myself up to a new sport, new athletes, spent, a bit of time with guys like Luke McKenzie, Craig Alexander, and I see them as, the pinnacle of, Australian athletes. I was riding sort of 600-700K a week, and then on top of that, you're running 80 to 100, training pretty much 40 hours a week, which for surf Ironman, you might be doing 25 to 30, but it's a lot different. Got a little bit injured and I had a bone tumor in my foot and in my heel actually, and I had surgery mid-December last year, so I was out for pretty much about 4 or 5 months. I couldn't run and I was on crutches for about 3 months, and then I sort of just got the drive watching Shannon last year win the series to try and come back and race him a few times this year. It was definitely difficult just because I put a lot of work in it. It might have only been 3 months, but I was probably doing 5-6 hours a day training for it. Got to, really focus on getting quicker and racing guys like my brother in training. And then outside of that, don't do all the silly stuff like going for a 3-hour bike ride or an hour-and-a-half run or anything like that. Just really focus on what I need to do to be the best I can for a 40-minute race, which is what we're going to do in the series.
Yeah, Kane Eckstein, he's cut, isn't he? Absolutely ripped up.
Impressive specimen of a man, of an athlete, unbelievable. And he really did apply himself well to Ironman triathlon racing, but he did have that bone spur, and that pulled him out of the Hawaiian Ironman when at one stage he was leading the age group category. So incredible job, and great to see him back in the sport, and his brother's loving having him there.
You can see Kendrick Louis now back out in front, looking good. Shannon Eckstein, Wesley Berg having a great race as well. And there's Matty Bevilacqua, he's having a great race.
This is starting to hot up here. This is the part of the field where we're looking back into that back 5 places. And these guys are pretty comfortable. They're enjoying themselves right now. Not the other guys. Remember, this is their career. So when they're sitting back now, if they get eliminated and sit the afternoon out, they lose points, they lose prize money. There's a whole season starting to weigh in the balance here.
Yeah, this is what puts food on the table for most of these guys, and the blokes that are at the back end of this field are gone. So it doesn't matter if you are even an inch out of the top 5 or top 6 rather for this, you're out.
Look at this wave here. We're going to have 1, 2, maybe up to 7 people on this wave. So tight shot there of Kendrick Louis coming down, holding. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that are going to battle it out in this next leg. 2 of those are going to miss out. Matt Poole is at least in that position now, equal lead.
Yeah, Matt Poole is in this group, so it's going to be a mad sprint. We have 6 of these that'll make it, 2 that can go and play golf this afternoon. Shannon Eckstein leads the way. Wes Berger's up there.
That's a who's who of Ironman racing there. When you include the older guys in Tannen Linden and Reece, how fantastic to see Matt Bevilacqua in there amongst them.
It's just great to see all these young guys doing well.
They are the future of this sport. Hayden White there, Hayden Allen as well. And there is a pathway now. Of course, it starts with the Wave Warriors. It was held in Perth, actually, a Zane Holmes initiative just a few days ago.
The whole concept behind Wave Warriors is to really provide a professional event, a fun event for the kids to compete in, where they feel really like they're part of the big time, and we try and mirror the beach setup, basically like the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman and Ironwoman series.
Kids see us racing around, these big cans and, the whole finishing arch, and having like a little spectator spot in the middle. for kids to see that on TV and then be able to come and do it themselves, they just absolutely love it.
It's definitely not about who wins what, and it's just about having fun for the kids. You know, this is where our future Ironmen and Ironwomen are coming from. You know, if you don't look after the younger generations, you're not going to have anything coming through.
I think Kai Hurst will be pretty hard to beat because when the surf's big, that means the swim cans are usually set out a lot further, which will make the swim a lot longer, and Kai's the best swimmer in our sport by a long, long way.
He certainly can swim, Kai Hurst, as we welcome you back to Channel 9's Wide World of Sports, the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series. But Shannon Eckstein, he might be talking himself down there a little bit. He can swim.
I was going to say quite humble by Shannon because he actually is probably the closest to Kai. Kai is outstanding, but Shannon's the one right on his tail. Board ski swim, here we go. Last leg, it's getting exciting now. Who's going to get through to this final round? Who makes and who breaks?
They're really close together. They're really clumped up in that transition there. This is a really tight race and some great shots of the underwater and the technique of some of the guys there.
See Tannen Linden at the back of that pack there. So he's moved right up on the tail of the pack. I'm pretty sure he's keen to not get eliminated right now. There's Matt Bevilacqua starting to slip back too. So we thought he was in a comfortable position, but it's all changing right now.
Smith's Beach in the Margaret River in Western Australia, a beautiful part of the world, and it's certainly produced some extraordinary racing in the Ironman series, the Nutri-Grain series here.
When was the last time you went for a 400-metre swim, Tim? It's not the easiest thing to do, is it? Particularly not at the end of a race like this.
You're asking the wrong person, Cliff. I don't think I ever have.
Reece?
It's been a while since I've done one too, but I do remember it. But this is a great race. Look at these guys. Look how close they get around these cans. Bit of argy-barge. It's good to see.
So what have we got there? We've got Kai, then Kendrick, then Shannon back there behind him. Kane Eckstein right there as well. Wes Berg sitting quite comfortably then. Matt Poole's moved right up. Tannen Linden sitting just off qualifying right there. He was going to want to get a move on as well.
It's not just 400 metres either. It's 400 metres in the ocean, and it's not flat as a tack today.
No, up and down, currents moving around, banging against somebody else, and you've already absolutely lactated yourself out in 2 rounds so far.
Here we are, and Kai Hurst out in front. Look how high he sits in the water. That nice kick. He'll just swim on top of that, get a bit of a run off that swell there. Wesley Berg, he's back in 5th. Kendrick comfortable, Kai comfortable. Here's a wave.
Here's a wave. Here we go. Kai Hurst, pick him to get this. And he's got over it, Kai Hurst. He's an absolute genius at this stuff.
Beautiful. Look how relaxed he is. Oh,
God.
Oh, hanging loose.
And the boys, I tell you what, when they know they're out of the red zone, they are very, very comfortable. But it's quite in contrast to the guys that are at the back as Kai just gradually and gracefully brings his arm over. Those on the edge and beyond are the ones that are really intense.
Isn't that how life is? You know, when you're doing well, you're waving to the camera, so to speak. You know, when you're not, you've got the grumps and the sulks.
I can't believe he's just giving us a little shag.
Giving us a little shugger.
Some days are diamonds, some days are stones.
Here we go.
Okay, what do we got? So that looked like coming up to the 5th, so right up to 5th place. Coming out, we're going to miss one here. Tannen Linden.
Here we go.
So top 6 makes it. There's the 2 Ecksteins.
That's our 6.
And there they are. There's Louis. Of course, Hurst goes across first.
Tannen Linden. Matt Poole's got through.
Matt Poole's there as well. And this is the elite of the elite. Matt finishes.
They're in.
Wes Berg.
Where is Wesy?
Wes Berg's disappeared.
It's Joshy Minogue and Hayden Allen. So Joshy's going to get 7th today, but Wes Berg has just vanished. I'm not sure
there
where he is now.
In 8th spot.
Matt Bevilacqua.
Hasn't had a great swim. Those boys will be happy with the result. Other than Wes, I would say those young guys have done pretty well. But what a top 6. That's the top 6 from last year's Deep Water Series. They said maybe Tannen shouldn't have been in that series. He's too young, but look at him. There's the big 6. He's made his mark.
Hurst, Linden, Eckstein, Louis and Poole. And doesn't it set it up beautifully for a 3rd and final race here at Smith's Beach in the Margaret River. Minogue, Allen, Berg, Bevilacqua and White all off for the afternoon.
Joshy Minogue, he'll be happy with that 7th place. Wesley Berg, though, he'll be really disappointed with that.
Well, Kai, what an incredible race. That was anyone's until the swim leg, and then you just smoked them.
Look, it's, the first 2 rounds, yeah, they count, but you just got to make sure that you do enough to get through. I'm starting to feel the effects of the first round, but, looking forward to this 3rd and final race. Should be good. I just need to get off to a good start and hope for the best in a couple of waves.
Okay, well, good luck.
Thanks, cheers.
Yeah, Kai Hurst talking to Ros Kelly and Wes Berger talk about contrasting emotions. He's not happy at all. What happened? We've just heard he got monstered in that swim. A few of the blokes came straight over the top. Wes got hit to the bottom of the deck and just it was over from there. So not happy, poor old Wes. This is the final race. We're going to get a winner out of this of round 2. Maddie Poole has just limped through in these first couple of rounds, but it's all square again.
And this is major. Running down, picking up your ski and your paddle, there's so much that can go wrong here. If you get a good skip and a good start, you could set yourself up for the whole race. Probably the most critical part. Tannen Linden away really, really well there.
And he's got here the hard way. Through the trials, Tannen Linden. It wasn't easy. Let's have a look at the road that got him here.
You've got 60 men here racing around trying to get 4 spots. It's pretty tough. You look around and you see the boys, and it's so nerve-wracking and stressful. I mean, this is kind of the make or break for their series. It's a cutthroat racing. You train all winter for something for 4th spot, and that's the difference between making a professional series and sitting out in the showers make it next year. So, yeah, I'm glad I'm not out there.
I reckon there's a few competitors sitting up there watching and knowing that they're in for some really tough competition this year. Nathan Smith looks sensational, and these guys are racing really well. This is the strongest trial I've ever seen.
I'm in. I made it. I'm super stoked about it. Yeah. Finally back in it.
Welcome back, brother.
Thanks, Wesley, mate. It's good to be back. It's been a long time, 3 years, and since Ironman racing, so it's good to see that the training that I've been doing is all paid off this weekend.
Yeah, tough old ride back, and there he is, Tannen Linden, and of course the beautiful Kingscliff Beach and that salt resort. If you ever get the chance, just extraordinary.
How inspiring for the young kids that are watching this to know that Tannen Linden has come through that pathway, made it into the series. Now he is here with the superstars of the sport of this day and age. Great job, Tan.
Love his enthusiasm too, and that's carrying out. He's got a great start. As we see Matty Poole bounce over one of those little waves. And it looks like Kendrick Louis out in front. He's taken to this race. He wants this one.
As we look across the field there, it was Poole, then across to Kane. Over on this side, we've got Tannen second in from the side, but Kai Hurst is going to be on the inside of the turn. So if he can move up a little bit more, he might even get on Kendrick's inside. No, look at that, Shannon. Just as I said it, Shannon's moved and gone, no, thanks, I want that.
Just cruised up, didn't he, like a motor racer.
Absolutely. If you just get naturally on the inside, it pushes the other person around. You get the sharper turn on the inside and away you go.
Kendrick Louis is looking strong as we see Kai Hurst. He's not out of it. He's just sitting. Kane's on the outside of him. But Kendrick's looking really strong on that ski as he's starting to chase a few of these little runners. And he's got away a little bit from Shannon there. That's a great little move from Kendrick there.
A little bit off balance there when he was paddling across on the runs. You look at Shannon, watch him. Watch the technique here, just the strength in the shoulders. And both these two doing a great job. Look at the lean forward of Shannon as he moves past. Applies the thumb screws a little bit and so good on the ski.
Yeah, there's only 6 of them left. Of course, a process of elimination. This is race 3. We're at Smiths Beach, round 2 of the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series as the boys get on a nice little wave and can take a nice breath.
In very similar sized conditions back at the World Championships last year, these two battle it out right through to the last leg, and it's almost got a bit of deja vu about it. They're both incredibly good competitors in these conditions over this distance.
You can see the rest of the competitors on that wave just behind them. So a nice little break here for the first two, but the others aren't out of this. But this is a great start. Watch how light Shannon is on his feet. I love watching these transitions.
It's got a bit of old bull, young bull about it, doesn't it, this?
Yes, absolutely, but it's the third race now. You're going to see a different little pace on Shannon. You'll start to see his legs move a bit faster. He's a bit more dynamic. He sets the race up a bit different when he knows it's down to the last one. Kai Hurst looking determined. Tell you what, that's 6 determined-looking cookies right there.
Yeah, and you just mentioned it before, Trevor, how this sets up everything, these early rounds, round 1, round 2 here, because it means points later, it means dollars later, it means setting up your whole series.
And when you've got a weapon of a swim leg like Kai Hurst, he's thinking, right, now is when I use it. Reece, I'm going to throw it out to you. Where's he going to come out of the swim leg? What place?
I will think he will either come out first or second. And you can see those other guys just honing in on Kai. You know, if you want to follow someone out, Kai Hurst is the man to follow out. But trying to stay on his feet, that's the hard thing.
But the other thing about Shannon Eckstein is that ability to surf the wave, and he is extraordinary. Courtney Hancock did it in the women's, and he's done it so far in the early part of this series, just being able to get it at the right time, have the timing that just sits him beautifully.
Absolutely. You're looking at probably 6 of the most certainly talented in strength and fitness and everything else, but they're all very skillful in the surf, these 6 guys. If they do get a body wave, don't look at them to drop it. They'll be all the way to the beach on it.
Kendrick Louis still swimming very strong. Shannon's sitting on his feet. That just goes to show you how well Kendrick's swimming, you know.
This gripping finish to round 2 at Smith's Beach of the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series after this.
Well, this is the final everyone wanted to see. These are the big guns, the best in the business, battling it out. You pretty much can't split it. They're just coming in from the swim leg. One more to go. That is the board. Now, the rivalry between these guys is absolutely fierce. They all competed against each other in Channel 9's series, Deepwater as well.
The Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series, Smith's Beach in Western Australia. And yes, it has all come down to this.
There you can see it, the order ski swim board. They're running out of the swim, down to the last board leg. I referred to the World Championships between these two last year, and basically Shannon Eckstein got away in the board leg and set up that world title win. Kendrick Louis, I reckon, would have that fresh in his mind. He'd be thinking, no, I want to do that to him today. So let's see if he can. Shannon Eckstein, one of the greatest board paddlers of all time, incredible at the board at the end of an Ironman race.
Definitely, Trevor, and just the pain these guys are going through. The third race of the day, you can see on Pooley there, that pain. They are hurting. Now, this is when Shannon Eckstein is super, super good.
Exactly as you say. Look at that look on Matt Poole's face. Tanner Linden, the young gun, up, not looking so painful, running quite fast, chasing.
Okay, you got Shannon Eckstein, this superstar. What about Kendrick Louis on the board?
Well, Kendrick, fantastic board paddler. Up against one of the greatest board paddlers of all time, but fantastic, and I'm sure so determined. You can see that look on his face. He's been my pick. He was my pick for round 1. Wasn't quite happening there, but I tell you what, he's in such good condition at the moment, and he's getting more and more confident as time goes on. No bad leg, especially not the board leg.
This is going to come down to the run if they stay like this, isn't it? Unless one gets a rare wave, they are right on each other.
Shannon Eckstein, he's an expert at getting around the can and getting on runners and breaking guys on the way in. It's going to be up to Kendrick to really try and take it to him. You can see that. He's not giving Shannon an inch, and if anything, he's taking it to him.
I came, I saw, I followed you. It's not the same. I speak the truth, magnets to tape.
You know, this year I made a big decision to move home to Sydney to my family, my girlfriend and my mates back home, and to be honest, it was a tough decision. You know, it had just been ticking over in my brain for a while now, and it was just sort of, every time I went home, I was just so happy there. And for me, yeah, my home is where my heart is, and that was a huge reason why I moved home, to be closer to my family and my girlfriend. Action. yeah, that's when I sort of thought, well, I'm in a sport now, why not try and be the best at it? Because that's where I wanted to go, and I wanted to be the best I could and turn up the training and put the best session in as possible so I could be the next Shannon Eckstein. You know, it's my job. I actually think about it now like this is my job. I'm pretty actually lucky to be doing something I love and being in the ocean, and it's something I've always dreamt about. And you know, as I said, it's not going to last forever, so you got to make the most of it while you can. I'm just trying to enjoy it and yeah, just go out there and have fun.
Prophetic words there. I want to be the next Shannon Eckstein. Well, he's going to take one big step to doing that if he can possibly knock him off here. Kendrick Louis back home on the northern beaches, the beautiful northern beaches of Sydney, and as happy as he's been.
And they're clear out as Kai Hurst and Matt Poole get knocked back. Kendrick Louis last year in a 2-hour race at Surfers Paradise Beach. 1 hour into it, he was a minute behind second last place, in last spot. Actually just decided to relax, came all the way through the field and ended up winning that 2-hour race. This guy, make no mistake, he's a superstar of this sport. As we join Tanner Linden on his way out.
He's having a real crack too, Tanner. He's not giving in. But look at Kendrick Louis just taking to Shannon Eckstein. Like you said, Trevor, Shannon's one of the best board paddlers of all time. And for Kendrick to be staying in front of him, that's a huge effort.
And one of Shannon's favourite moves on the inside. Kendrick's turned the tables here. He's got Shannon on the outside, and he's going to have that for both cans.
Yeah, that's a great move to keep him out. As we see Kai coming up to the turning can. He's not out of it yet. Don't write Kai Hurst off. There's these little waves that are popping up on the way back in. It's a great race.
But these guys have got a little bit of a drift on the field. How important is the whole process, the transition? You talk about transitions to get the ski, the transition to get into the swim. What about the transition to get off the board? And here, as we see Louis here get a little bit ahead of Eckstein.
Perfect timing, Tim, to ask that question, because there's also a transition coming out of the can. He put Shannon out to the wide, and when he turned, he took off, had half a board length on him, got the first run, so he's got a tiny little lead. Of course, as you say, when they get to the water's edge, it's all about who gets off first, who gets off in the best spot. You don't want to get off too deep. It's such a timing thing. But right now, Kendrick Louis doesn't want to run up the beach. He wants to get on a wave on his own, and it's not going to happen. Look at this. We've got it again.
Sprint finish. Here we come.
Here it is. Here's the wave, Reece. You speak of the peaceful time before the furious finish, and this is Louis and Shannon Eckstein. You've got the champion, you've got the other that wants to be the champion, and how close is this? Eckstein on left of screen, Louis on right of screen. What happens when they get off the board and run up the beach? Who gets off first and who gets away? Will it be the young buck or the old buck? It looks like it's going to be Louis. Louis off first. He comes around here. Kendrick Louis punches the air. He knows he's got it. And Kendrick Louis, he wants to be Shannon Eckstein. Well, today he has beaten him in round 2 of the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series.
How good was that? The young bull. He wanted that pretty badly. He just got that little jump on him. But here we go for third place. This will be a good sprint finish. Third or fourth.
And we're starting to look at point score too now. Third and fourth. Kai Hurst right up there after second in the first round. What's going to happen here? It's going to get pretty close.
Yeah, so here it is. There's Kai Hurst there in jersey number 5. Kane Eckstein takes a fall. It's another Eckstein. Eckstein and Hurst, two pretty famous names in this sport. Kai gets the inside running and he hits the line, so he'll get there in front of Kane.
Oh, that looked excruciating to try and run up that sand after that effort. Short course race, Matt Poole into 5th place. What an improvement after struggling through those first couple of rounds. One of the stars of the day for me, Tanner Linden into the top 6 to show he belongs in this field. Incredible race. This Eliminator is an amazing race to watch.
Yeah, Linden had a big smile on his face. I think he was pretty happy to be there. We saw the trials and tribulations he went through just to be at Smith's Beach in Western Australia. Kendrick Louis, number 1. Shannon Eckstein, Kai Hurst, Kane Eckstein, Matt Poole and Tanner Linden.
As we look over here, Joshy Minogue, he'll be stoked with that 7th place. Wesley Berg, as we said, he'll be disappointed. Nathan Smith, he was a little unlucky today.
Closing out the field on the 3rd page. They've all got some good points there. This is all about re-qualifying. Cam Cole, Mitch Miller, Dane Farrell and Thomas Trambath right back to that board loss has put him back in 16th spot.
So there they are, the results page, round 2, Nutri-Grain Ironman Series. If you didn't know Smiths Beach, Western Australia, you know it now. This guy certainly will, and he'll remember it for the rest of his days. Kendrick Louis, we'll hear from him after this.
Welcome to Smiths Beach in Western Australia, and what a race today. The guys up the pack, Shannon Eckstein, Kendrick Louis. Kendrick, congratulations, mate.
Thanks, mate. It was a tough last race out there. You know, it was, myself and Shannon. You had Kai there as well, and even Pooley. They were just, mate, the pace was on from the very first race. You know, you've always got Pooley wanting to lead from the front. As soon as he gets a sniff, mate, he just goes for it. So it's one of those things, if you can get in front of him and try and build a bit of confidence, it will be a big day.
Kendrick, you've pretty much put yourself in a perfect position for the season. How are you feeling about that?
Mate, I think it's early days. It's round 1 and 2, so we've still got another 4 rounds to go. So it's just, you take each race as it comes, try and be positive, and we'll go to Newcastle. We might have some big swell, and anything can really happen. So it's good money in the bank. You just got to try and build on it.
Who are the ones that you're looking out for around you? Obviously, it's a strong pack up there at the top.
Definitely Shannon Eckstein. He's ever most consistent, mate. It's something like, you might think like round 1, actually, I had a good little lead, and, they came over the top of me when I sort of got a bit complacent. You've got guys like Pooley and the whole crew at Mooloolaba there, mate. They're probably the fittest here, and they'll go all day. So especially guys like Pooley, he's an aggressive racer. As soon as he gets a sniff, mate, he'll just go for the win.
All right, mate, well, let's talk about the race today. Let's talk about your tactics. Were you planning just to hang back? Did you want to go out and lead from the front? Rest when you could? What was the go today?
My race plans are usually pretty simple, mate. It's, turn up on the day, enjoy your racing, and you'll go well. So it's the first race in an eliminator, as you know, it always hurts the most. So you've sort of got to take that out hard, blow the cobwebs out, and, from then on, try and build from there, and without getting too carried away with a first race win in an eliminator.
Yeah, and look, that last race, it was a cracker. Obviously, you got that little wave in the swim to put you out in front, give you that bridge that gap from the back markers. Then you got held up a little bit on the board. What was going through your mind? Like, I know you've got a fair bit of mongrel in you. I could see you gritting your teeth. What was going through your head?
It was, mate. I guess Shannon and I, we were lucky enough to get that little wave in the swim leg. We ran around on the board, and I'm like, I've got a tough board leg ahead of me, as anyone would know in this sport. Shannon's one of the best paddlers out there, and we got held up by a few of the waves, and I just thought, just hang in there, be patient. We've got a little buffer on the boys, and we snuck out, and then turn that last count, I just pulled up this little run, and I just thought to myself, I've got this. Just go for it, mate. And I went for it, and then it was just a dead section, and I was just like, you're kidding me, mate. I turned around, saw this little wave jack up, and Shannon just to the right and got down, and I said, it's on here. And I just put my head down and went, get those legs pumping. And get ready. And my wave, my little section of the wave sort of doubled up, and I think, I was sort of looking at the ground, see a few potholes, and it flattened out. I said, as soon as there's a clear bit of sand, I'm going for this. And I got up and got my little legs pumping and turned around. I saw I had about 5 metres, and that's enough. It's a 30-metre sprint finish, and I thought if I got 5 metres...
Fist pumped
it. You don't get to do it very often. So I think, when you get a win, it's important to express your emotions and just get it out of your system and get ready for the next round.
Kendrick Louis, congratulations again, mate. Proud of you. Good start to the season. And right now we're going to throw to Ros Kelly with Shannon Eckstein.
Shannon, incredible start to the series, a first and a second.
Yeah, I was pretty, I think, fortunate in round 1 to come away with the win, but round 2, Kendrick was really dominant, I thought, throughout the 3 races, and just couldn't quite get him at the end there, but some good points looking forward to round 3 now.
Take us through this round, and in particular the final. It was fierce between you. It was hard to split you until the end.
Yeah, in the second round, I sort of got a little bit of a lead, and the boys come through, so I sort of had to go through a bit more gears than I wanted to and use up a bit more energy before round 3. And you come to that round, you start getting a little bit dizzy, a little bit faint, and you've given it your all, but it's the last race of the day, and just come up a little bit short there, but really happy with second.
Kendrick, he's very hungry. These young guns are putting the pressure on you now?
They are definitely. Kendrick's been up and coming for a number of years now. He's got the experience now, so there's no excuses for him, and he's showing that he's definitely a title contender.
How do you rate the rest of the competition?
Kyle looks incredibly fit. He probably had a disappointing year last year, but he's come back really strong this year. Kane's up there again, and Matt Poole's in the final, and young Tanner Linden again in the final. So there's a whole heap of guys coming through, and really looking forward to Newcastle round 3 now.
What other plans into Newcastle for you?
Just recovery. I think we've all done a lot of work in the off-season, had 2 really good races now, and just recovery and freshen up and get these old legs ready to go.
Okay, enjoy. Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, Roz.
Thanks very much, Roz. Let's check out the men's standings. It's the usual suspects, Reece.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And it's not surprising. Shannon Eckstein, Kai Hurst, Kendrick Louis. And, mate, they looked so good over the first 2 rounds. They looked super fit. Their skill level was amazing. Not surprising at all. It's going to take a lot for the others to catch up to those 3.
Earlier in the day, too, we had the women's. Courtney, way too good for everyone.
She put on a clinic in that second race. Her swim leg over the 2 rounds has just been amazing. But the surprising thing was Maddie Dunn. I thought she's been super impressive. She's made a move down to the Gold Coast, and she's actually training with Courtney. So she was an outstanding and a real standout over the first 2 rounds.
Do you think that's helped her, hanging out and training with Courtney every day, obviously?
Yeah, look, obviously she had a lot of talent, and she's gone down there and she's training with the best now. So I think it definitely has had a good effect for her.
Reece, the new venue here at Smiths Beach, how's it been for us?
I think it's been fantastic. Obviously, round 1, the elements were really thrown at the competitors. Big surf, strong wind, rain. It was full on. Second round was great. Great racing, good, nice conditions, and it's just a great location. A real plus for the Ironman series, I think.
Hasn't it ever? Western Australia's turned it on. All the elements have come across us this weekend. Reece Jury and myself, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you for round 3 in Newcastle, right here at Wide World of Sports.